Good morning. Well, this may be a little bit more normal, but not too normal. This is the 6th year, second day, first video. And yesterday I just launched into the song, the Alfubet song for Artok Ruy'n. But I made a couple mistakes, and I want to correct the mistakes, and now I want to take some time to explain. And I think what I'll do is I'll erase stuff as I deal with it, to make this all look so complicated now. So it's corrected. I'm going to correct it. And let me jump right to the outright mistake that was here. It was here. We. It should be oo. It doesn't need that Y. The Y is like in the way you learned back in when you went to school. If you learned English, you learned A, B, C. Well, they use the sound E after the consonants. Well, W is not a consonant. It's oo, and so we don't need that. So that was an outright mistake. Another thing, too, in Artok Ruy'n, the sound of that letter is A, not A. A is taken care of by plus E together, A-E. That's called a diphthong, so I took care of that, A. And let me just go through those other ones that are like this. There is no single letter C in Artok Ruy'n. The sound C is taken care of by S and E, C. So what I did is now chi, CH together, that's called a digraph. When you've got two letters being used together to make a sound that the separate ones don't make. So it was a good place to put in chi. The well, in Artok Ruy'n, that's E is already taken care of here. And if you wonder where did I come up with that, well, a word like only, L-Y, in standard English spelling, the letter Y, as they call it, is oh, and I should have put that up there. As you learned it probably, that was Y. Well, it also has that sound of E. All right, so I've discussed that. So that is F. All right, I. Well, in Artok Ruy'n, that's I. There's really only one sound per letter in Artok Ruy'n. That's what makes it so much easier. If it were given equal footing and equal chance up against standard English spelling, it's so much easier because it's not a short I and a long I. There's I, and if you want I, well, you go E, I, once again a diphthong. So that's I. Now this O, that's aw in standard English, in Artok Ruy'n. O, the way people normally would name the letter, you get that from O, U. O, 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 U. So, all right, that's taken care of. Q, we don't need it. QRST, that's what you'd normally sing. Well, we've got key, so Q. We've already got that. Don't need that letter. In a similar way, I think I forgot to put that down there, but X, Y, Z, you would say. Normally you'd put X. We don't need it because X is X. Don't need that letter. And I think it would just, it's there in reserve, and maybe if it were ever absolutely needed, you come up with another sound for it. W, well, it's just ooh. Let me see. W would be W, W. All right, now what? Now I know my ABCs. Now I've got a little bit of a problem with this because more often than not I want to make this an A, so it's ow, oh, oh, ow, oh. These are similar. Not this one. This one, oh, oh, that's quite different. But oh, ow, and ow, those are similar, and half the time I tend to put an A in there. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Okay, that's fine, and I had that up here before. I can get rid of that, I guess, again, just to make things simpler here. All right, when you're a kid, I remember this. I bet a lot of you do. A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes W is what we were taught. A, E, the vowels. What are the vowels? A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes W. A, E, I, O. Where's U? U, and sometimes W. Well, A is a diphthong. It's A. The vowel that's all by itself is A. So it's a diphthong. E is a vowel, but it's covered already by E. I, A-E-I, well, I is a diphthong. It's A-E. So in Artok Ruy'n, that letter is simply it. A-E-I-O, well, aw, that's a vowel, but it's pronounced O. O, it's a diphthong. U, U, if you're going to say it like that, once again we have a diphthong. And sometimes W, that used to really puzzle me. Sometimes W, what do you mean as a little kid? I've said often before, I must have been a weird little kid because I can faintly remember thinking, what do you mean sometimes? Is it a vowel or isn't it a vowel? Well, U is a vowel, but if you pronounce it U, oh wait, I'm sorry, W. Yeah, it's got that long name. U, it is a vowel. All right, let's see. Now, these two right here, C, and thee. The difference between them, and they need to be there. These are digraphs. And this one looks so strange. I'll have to confess that I guess I made it up. I mean, I had to come up with a symbol. Well, the difference is that this one is voiced. You actually, it's linguists call that voiced. And C is not voiced. It's not created down in your throat. I think it's called aspirated. I think that's the right word for it. So there's a difference between thee and thee. You know, I thought a lot about when I created this song to put them in reverse order, thee and thee. But I decided to stick with it that way. But anyway, I realized that in all the almost all the Artok Ruy'n that I've ever written, I've made a consistent mistake in that the English word the, which would be spelled in standard English, T-H-E, the, I consistently wrote it like that, I think. Well, that would be tha. It should have been, it should have been voiced, the. And I think I know why I did it. Maybe it was a mistake, but I also think Artok Ruy'n is so foreign to somebody who has learned standard English spelling and they love it because they learned it finally and it served them all their life, that with the T, it looks a little bit more friendly. And that's the most common word in the English language. And I thought, all right, they can learn that. But it wasn't really right. And if you wonder still, are those really two different sounds? Yes, they are. If you can understand the difference between, this is English, standard English spelling, thy and thigh, we could talk about thy thigh. You have a shapely leg. Thy thigh is nice. Well, thy and thigh, that's the way you would say it in Artok, or that's how you'd spell it in Artok writing. All right, I've talked about digraphs and diphthongs. All right, what's left? Wait for dialect. If you decide, oh, and I've already had some viewers, Facebook or YouTube viewers, write to me as I invited them to do. Write to me in Artok Ruy'n. I should be able to understand it. Often I can't. I mean, if it's utterly misspelled, I can't understand. I don't know what they were trying to say. This is a very precise and very accurate system. But then I've had others that just couldn't wait to use it for dialect. They're confusing it. They've misspelled things, or they have that latent making fun of dialect. I had one who wrote back to me, I think he wrote something like, just messing with, yeah, I don't know exactly what he wrote. But this is what drew my attention, with you. Well, that's fine if you want to say with you. As your joke about, oh, I'm making fun of someone who can't say TH and they say with. But I would have preferred just messing with you. That would have been fine, just messing with you. But, all right, so anyway, I would say wait for dialect. Wait until you've got this completely under control. Stick to standard English and in a formal register. If you go too standard, you're going to end up sounding as if you were British. British with that T. See, in America we would say British. I mean, that's just normal speech, British. That's not considered dialect in the United States, but the British tend to pronounce that T. One of the things about writing in Artok Ruy'n is you have to think about, what am I actually saying? What are the sounds that I'm making? It'll be a challenge. I wonder a little bit if anyone's going to take this up. I think they should. It's fun for one thing. So anyway, wait for dialect. And then finally, why am I doing this? Well, it's not just for fun. How to explain, why am I doing this? Maybe I'll save that for later. Yeah, I'll save that for later. So, all right, one more time. See if I've got this corrected now. I got A, B, C, D, F, E, G, I, G, K, L, M, N, O, P, R, C, Š, T, C, V, A, U, V, U, E, Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Bye for now.